Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is a quintessential pre-MCU comic book movie, complete with all of the hokiness of a Silver Age comic book. And though it's not great by any stretch of the imagination, it certainly does have its moments. Like and subscribe down below for more nerd content and commentary. I'm your host, Brennan Sem. Joining me this week, as usual, is my co-host, Shayde Sem. Now let's roll the intro. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer was released in 2007, and in it, the Fantastic Four learn that they aren't the only super-powered beings in the universe when they square off against the powerful Silver Surfer and the planet-eating Galactus. The film is directed by Tim Story, written by Don Payne, Mark Frost, and John Turman, and stars Ioan, Gruffudd, I'm very sorry, I've never been sure how to pronounce that, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, and Michael Chiklis. Now, as always, we're going to begin with a brief non-spoiler review. Shayde, what did you think of Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer?
Well, I think I have watched this movie at least over 50 times in my life.
It's probably being conservative.
I don't know. I do love this movie for the sore fact of it's funny at times. It does have a nostalgia effect on me.
Certainly.
I will say that. But also, if you want that solid comic book movie feeling, these two movies are just the perfect movies for you.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. It certainly does feel, well, like I said in the intro, like a Silver Age comic book. It's very hokey in some parts. There's lots of things that don't make sense. The complete story conceit, the end of the movie itself, classic comic book. And this is one of those situations where I don't think it works in its favor. But what I will say is that I was both surprised, I was surprised at how much better this movie was than I remembered and how much worse it was than I remembered. I don't understand, but there were certainly moments where I was like, this is actually pretty good. And then something crazy would happen and I would be like, oh yes, that's why everybody hates it.
Yeah.
What I will say, and again, I'm not going to spoil anything by really discussing it, but the first 30 minutes of this movie, the first act, surprisingly good. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really start to get crazy until after the Silver Surfer shows up. Because that's when some of the wild stuff happens with Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
But it is moderately interesting. You know, I think it starts off strong and really peters out towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, the movie at least keeps you invested. It keeps you interested, even though, like you said, there are times where you'll be like, this isn't great.
Yeah.
You know?
Who thought of this idea?
Well, what's going on here? But it also has just such a fun aspect to it that I think people do enjoy. Mm-hmm. You know?
And I will say it does have a great poster.
The poster is cold.
It's cold. And I really, a lot of people hate on him these days, but I really like the suits.
The suits have always been one of my favorite Fantastic Four suits. The black on the blue, the navy blue.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I like that each person's suit is like slightly different. Mm-hmm. Like it's not just the same suit printed in 4 different sizes. It is like, I think Mr. Fantastic has like a V of the black towards the bottom, and Sue Storm only has like some of it. It's just a darker blue. Johnny Storm's is just completely the same blue except for black on the sides. It does a good job in making the characters seem a little bit unique, but still having it be a consistent uniform.
Yeah, so kudos to costume designing.
Yeah, I think it's done pretty well. Now I think it's time to start dogging on the movie. There are good parts. There are certainly some decent parts. But to do that, we have to get into the spoiler section. But before we do, I'm going to ask you all to head on over to patreon.com/newwavenerds. If you like hearing us jibber jabber about movies, but want to help us make these look and sound even better, then that is the place to go. We definitely want to keep doing this.
Yes.
And we hope that you guys enjoy it. And we just want to keep making you laugh.
Yeah.
Making you laugh. And hopefully, in some cases, probably not with this one, but in some cases, making you think about movies and comic books in a different way.
Yeah, and making me rich.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to go. No. Shayde needs any amount of money. He's currently living in a cardboard box.
Yeah, it's hot in there right now. It's sorry.
Yeah, I could have offered him my couch, but I chose not to.
That's okay.
He'd get it smelling cheesy. In any case, again, if you like what we do and want to help us make this stuff even better than it, go to patreon.com/newwavenerds. Now, Shayde, as I mentioned in the non-spoiler part, I kind of want to, before we just start dogging on it and talking about how bad it is, I do want to focus on something that I think is good, and that's the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Again, even though it's good, it's by no stretch of the imagination great, but it is certainly enjoyable, and you get into that opening section, and there are actually some really interesting character beats. One thing that I don't necessarily really like, but I respect as like a movie technique, is more than anything, this movie kind of focuses on Johnny. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, it's all about Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman's marriage, but the main point of growth is from Johnny Storm, who realizes this is like a family. Like he sort of he takes it a little bit more seriously. And I really like how there's the scene where it's after, the wedding has been ruined again, and Reed and Sue are talking about the future, and Sue is like, is this going to be our life now, with people watching our every move, where our wedding gets ruined to go save the world? And Mr. Fantastic says, let's quit, let's leave the family, leave the Fantastic Four behind, go start our own family, I'll be a teacher. And Sue asks, well, what about the other two? What about Ben and Johnny? And Mr. Fantastic says, well, Johnny's always been more of a solo act anyways. And Johnny's been listening around a corner the whole time. And he sort of like rolls his whole head. He rolls his whole head in sort of irritation and walks away. I think that's a really interesting moment, because definitely the impression from the first movie is that he is a solo act. He's the one who's seeking all of the attention. He's the type, if anybody was going to do it, if anybody was going to break up the group, you would think it would be Johnny, because he is going to go be his own hero. But it's not. And in this moment, you realize, like, the family is actually more important to him than he lets on.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Which is, reading, I forgot the writer's name, but
Brian North.
Reading that, he, Johnny really steps up in that for the family aspect too. There's a scene where him and Sue are in space, and they just have this amazing brotherly sister moment. And him and Ben, they're just such. I love the brother aspect of Ben and Johnny.
Definitely.
So much. I will always love that. I love this team, and I feel like this movie really adapted it in a very good way for just family. Mm-hmm. They split up a bunch. They always split up. They always come back together. They always realize they love each other. And Johnny in this one, he really does kind of keep the group together because of Reed Richards' failure to be a good leader at times, and to honestly be a good friend and family member. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Johnny really helps out with Reed figuring that out, that he ain't doing all good right now, and that's another reason I'm not too big of a fan of Reed Richards. I'd say I love the Fantastic Four, but Reed Richards, he's not one of my favorite people.
Yeah,
he's not a great family man, I'd say at times. He kind of puts science. He always puts science first, mm-hmm. and it sucks to see, and they really depict it in this movie very well. I mean, the wedding scene, and he's over here working, and it's just I really like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, it's one thing that makes Reed like such a complicated character, is because he's the type of guy that like you want to like. Yeah. Because you can tell that he's trying. Like, he doesn't realize how his actions and how his choices affect other people. Because like you said, he's always focused on the next project. He's always focused on fixing the problem. And there's the comic book that I'm going to be reviewing next Thursday is Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4 by Grant Morrison. Only 4 issues. You should definitely read it if you haven't.
Yeah.
But that series illustrates it so good, because the whole time Reed is like never there in the story. He's locked away in his room focusing on something. But then at the end you realize he locked himself away because he's trying to solve a problem that's affecting the whole family, the whole world. You know, that's the thing, is like family is super, super important to him, but his mind is so wired for science that these human relationships just like slip past. And I think that that's really interesting. And like you said, I do like the way that they depict that in this show. One thing that does bother me though is Sue has known Reed for how long at this point? Since college.
Yeah,
I mean, they're about to get married. I understand being upset, but at a certain point, I think you do have to sort of meet him where he is. You know, and obviously he needs to meet her where she is too. It's a give and take thing, but it does get to a certain point where it's like, you don't, and granted, part of this is because of the wedding, right? Everybody gets overwhelmed with their wedding and stuff, but it's the same story all the time, is that, Reed is focused on his science and Sue is mad because he's not spending time with her or their kids or whatever. And at a certain point, you need to have a certain amount of leeway of being like, look, this is how he is. I'm going to let this one slide. And then I'm going to talk to him and be like, hey, I understand, you know, you're trying to save the world or whatever, but you have to spend time with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, one thing I was going to say is, I guess do you know around the time that Franklin Richards would have come into the comics? Because when I was
1968, I think.
Oh, 1968. Okay.
He's old.
Never mind, dude. I was gonna say, like, could they have brought Franklin Richards into, like, if they did a third movie, which they probably would have, since he came out in 1968. Could they have? I mean, because they talk about having a baby in this one, of course, in the second movie. So I would assume if they did a third one, Franklin Richards would come along. But then Galactus is kind of out of the picture here. That big cloud in the sky is out of the...
Yeah.
Oh.
We're in the spoiler section.
Oh, we're good. Yeah, sorry. Forgot about that.
Also, saying Galactus is a cloud isn't really a spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. But, I mean, you know, I don't know. That was such a dumb choice. That's one of the things about this movie that makes me so mad.
Yeah, I think this movie has a few failings, like 3 major failings. One is Galactus, because again, it's dumb that he's a cloud, especially because when he goes past like Jupiter or whatever, we see the outline of the Kirby style helmet, but then he's just a cloud. The second major fault for me is Doctor Doom.
Yes.
I don't think he's necessary in this story. It's weird. It's weird that you have a movie that is ostensibly about the Silver Surfer and about Galactus, but the final fight is between Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four again, you know? And then the third major failing is with Johnny Storm and the power wackiness. That's so dumb to me. So stupid. Why does he absorb why did they switch powers? And then the part that makes me the most mad is they spend the whole movie like if somebody touches him, he swaps between them. Like there's a moment where Ben touches him, and Johnny becomes a thing, and Michael Chiklis has fire powers. But then at the end, they all touch hands, and for some reason, he just steals all their powers, and he gets all 4 of them, and they are just regular people.
So silly.
Why is it like that? Shouldn't it be that like they all touch and the powers get like jumbled between them in some way?
You know, yeah, if Johnny really, really wanted to, and he wanted to go alone, and the rest of the team, they didn't want to be a team anymore, they didn't want powers, Johnny could just take them all.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just saved Ben Grimm's life.
He could have.
Yeah.
Ben would have been the type who would like barbecue some meat with his powers.
Oh, yeah. Here's a question for you. Do you think Alicia Masters would still love him if he wasn't a rock?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like maybe she's into the Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, not Dwayne the Rick Jackson. But do you think, because she fell in love with him when he was a rock monster,
and then she just touches him one day and he's just mushy. She's just
like, oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. But any case, not only do I hate the way that the story plays out with that aspect, it also looks stupid.
Yeah.
It just looks really bad. It's a dumb idea. And it in the end, it sort of goes against the one thing that I said was interesting about Johnny Storm's character in this movie. You know, there's the moment, like I was just talking about, where Reed says Johnny's always been a solo act, and then he tosses his head and goes, ah. But then in the end of the movie, he's a solo act. He takes all of their powers and saves the day by himself.
Yeah, I mean, it takes away the whole team aspect at the end.
Yeah, it defeats the whole purpose. I mean, he does after that, you know, have a nice moment with Ben where he says, it's not all about me, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. The other thing that I don't get is why couldn't Sue Storm just make like a bubble of invisibility around all of them?
Why couldn't Sue Storm do a lot?
Yeah, she's pretty point. I hate the way that they make her in these movies.
They really did Jessica Alba dirty.
Because here's one thing that I truly, truly believe, and I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan in general. Like, I haven't read much of their stuff. Most of the things that I've seen the Fantastic Four in, it's just been appearances in other books. I truly believe that Invisible Woman is one of the best Marvel characters because she deals with everybody, and
she's very powerful.
She's very powerful. She's super powerful. Yeah. And even more than that, now I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. it floated out of my brain. I don't know, but she's great.
Well, this
is what I was going to say. She's the only reason that the team works.
Yeah.
She's the glue.
She's the mom, you know?
She holds them together. If it weren't for her, Ben would have killed Johnny.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. No, Ben would have killed Johnny because he can't burn, so it would have been a pretty one-sided fight. And Reed would never leave his bedroom. He would never leave the lab. He would be stuck in his deep thought machine at all times. They wouldn't be able to function as a team without her.
Yeah. Yeah, then it'd be just the Fantastic Three, dude.
Yeah. More like the tiresome three.
Jessica Alba.
She's not a great actress, but she doesn't have a lot to work with.
I don't think Jessica Alba was the right choice for this. I like who they got for Reed Richards, of course. I think he's a good Reed Richards. He has a good look for him. He has the nerdiness, you know, for Reed Richards.
I maintain that he would be a good Reed Richards, like, now.
Yeah.
Like, Pedro Pascal's going to be good. He's a great actor. But my fear is always that, like, I don't want a big-name actor because then the actor sort of overshadows the part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want the Reed Richards to overshine the actor.
Which is, I mean, it's what's going on right now with Stranger Things guy and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
You know?
Joseph Quinn. They're big names, and that's the thing is, and from a marketing perspective, I get why you do it because you're probably worried that people aren't going to go see it. And like we were having a conversation with your sister the other week, and she was talking about how the only reason she's excited to see Fantastic Four is to see Joseph Quinn. So like I get it from a marketing perspective, but from like a story and in universe perspective, like here's the thing is when they cast Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, he was pretty big because he'd done like BBC Sherlock and The Hobbit, yeah, he was Smaug. And I'm pretty sure Star Trek Into Darkness came out before that. So he was pretty big, but he wasn't like a massive star.
Yeah, he was still on the sidelines a little bit.
It was the type of thing where if you went to somebody on the street and said, "What do you think of Benedict Cumberbatch?" they probably would have. It was probably like a 50-50 shot of people being like, "I think he's great," and people saying, "Who is that?" But Pedro Pascal, everybody knows him.
I mean, they chose Pedro. They knew what they were doing, you know, because Pedro Pascal, he just started with The Last of Us. Mm-hmm. You know, he just got done with Narcos. He did that meme farming movie about him with
Nick
Nicolas Cage, you know, that
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That became just a massive meme.
Well, and like The Last of Us and stuff. Like, see, here's the thing. Like we said, I mean, he's a great actor. Mm-hmm. He's really, really, really good. But I don't like stunt casting for the main members. If you're going to stunt cast, I want it to be a supporting character. Sam Jackson as Nick Fury is not the main focus of Iron Man 2 or of the Avengers. He's a side part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't distract.
Yeah, Nick Cage is always in the shadows, you know, just hiding. And then he comes out.
Nick Cage?
Wow.
It's a very different guy from who I was talking about.
my bad.
Yo,
Well,
that was
alright.
wild. Or like, I mean, stunt casting is like Captain America and the Winter Soldier is Robert Redford is the villain. Spoilers for a movie that's 9 years old at this point. Like, makes sense. He's not the main guy, so you can get a actor who's like a big name for that. I don't like it when it's the main guy. That's the same reason. Well, it's half of the same reason why I don't like RDJ as Doctor Doom.
That's just a bad choice all around. I mean, come on. You know, that's some lazy work right there, in my opinion.
Cash grab for sure.
Cash grab, yeah. I mean, he said he was done. He said he was retired. We all knew he'd come back. I thought he would come back as like a hologram for Riri, you know?
I would have liked that, but they wouldn't be able to pay him enough money, like for a TV show. But yeah, I would have liked, because I mean, Tony Stark as a hologram is like a big part of one of my I wouldn't say most favorite, one of a story that I really, really enjoy for Secret Empire. He's a hologram in that.
Yeah, and I think it would be a fun supporting role for RDJ just to do, because he's funny. He'd be there for comedic relief sometimes.
Sure.
You know, it's RDJ.
I mean, he should be the AI.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't even have to be a hologram. Just get him to record some voice lines in the comfort of his home and send him to the studio.
Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that, but they won't do that. They won't. You want to know why? Because Marvel and Disney love money.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking about the Fantastic Four and Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal.
And again, like, it's a situation. Of course, I understand the decision-making process. I understand. People have not been so hot on the MCU since, post Endgame. There have been a few bangers, but by and large, most people aren't huge fans of it. Of the stuff that they've put out. So you need people to put butts in seats. Yeah. But frankly, I think the introduction of the Fantastic Four itself is enough for that.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's Fantastic Four is everyone's talking about it. That song just rings in my head. Fantastic Four. That was good. Hey, don't dog on me.
I didn't say anything.
No, I mean, they did good. I think they're doing good with the score. There's some shots in the trailer that I'm just like, I think that are really cool.
The trailer, I mean, it's it's great marketing. Yeah. They're doing a great job. I mean, the trailer looks great. I would say everything about it so far has been really good.
Yes. Now, to dive back into Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, we should do that.
I think Silver Surfer CGI and just the reflections of him look a little better than what I saw in the trailer for the Silver Surfer in that, dude.
I don't know.
Because she looks so animated. She looked animated when I saw her. But I mean, and you gotta admit, they did some good work with him in this one.
He does look. I mean, considering the fact that this movie's 2007, he looks pretty good.
All right, maybe I stand corrected. She does. I don't know, dude. She looks like a video game, a little bit.
It is. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything until we actually like really see her in motion in the movie, because it's in my opinion, I feel like it's always hard to tell from stills, but I will say it is slightly the level of detail on her, I think, is why there's like an uncanny valley aspect.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem, especially in like the hair and like the eyes. But I don't know. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I kind of like it. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see until the movie actually happens. But the moment in the trailer where she shows up is sick.
Yeah, it's pretty dang cool.
It's sick.
I will say, I mean, there's so much in that trailer that's actually like that gets me going. Gets my heart racing. But we're just gonna have to wait to see how it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you mentioned him earlier. I'm excited to see Franklin Richards. I mean, he's just a baby in this, dude. But I'm excited to see like what happens in the future. I said this, I think on I think I posted it on X or something, but in comics, Franklin Richards is like the most powerful person in the universe, or at least one of the most powerful.
Is he does he become the creator, or not the creator, where's that big helmet?
Big helmet?
Yeah, with an X on it. It's like just a big helmet that covers his whole eyes, but it only shows his mouth.
Are you talking about
The fabric. Nope, that's that's our.
That's a wrong one.
My
Are you
bad.
talking about a big X over his face?
Scott Summers.
Is it this one? Is this? Oh, do you mean the maker? No, that's
Maker,
Reed
yeah.
Richards.
Okay, I didn't know. I guess I thought that was.
Yeah. Is this who you're talking about?
Yeah, he looks so cool.
Yeah, it's a sick design. Yeah, that's Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe.
I hope we see that.
Man, I really don't know how I feel about that. Here's my worry is that my worry is that for like Secret Wars or whatever, they focused too much on including different variants and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the Maker would be cool to see, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to see a variant of somebody who just got introduced into the universe. You know, especially considering the fact that he's already going to be from a different universe. Unless they make it that the Maker is the Reed Richards of the main universe.
Oh.
Like, and the reason we haven't seen him is because he's been working out his dastardly deeds.
That could be pretty dang cool.
That would be pretty cool. That would really flip it on the script. Actually, it kind of wouldn't because, I mean, it would, of course, because you wouldn't expect it. But the main Marvel continuity is completely based off of the Ultimates. Like, if you watch Avengers 1 and then you read Mark Millar's Ultimates, it's so clear. Like, it's literally so clear. It's so much closer to the Ultimates than it is to like mainline comic universe. So that would actually make sense.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, read the Ultimate. It's just a good book in general. Or conversely, I don't know if they're any good, but I have lots of nostalgia. I used to love them as a kid. Watch the Ultimate Avengers animated movies.
I've seen the Ultimate Avengers animated movies.
Those are great. Or at least I remember them being great.
Wait, those are the ones where like there's a little kid Captain America with.
No. That's the new Avengers.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I liked that one too when I was younger. But Ultimate Avengers is like the adaptation of the Ultimates comic book.
Look at this.
It's really good. I really enjoy it. I remember specifically Ultimate Avengers 2 because this is when Black Panther gets introduced and this is where the Chitauri attack.
Oh, okay.
But another parallel one, Ultimate Avengers is the first instance of a black Nick Fury, and when they were writing it, they based him off of Sam Jackson.
Oh, so I mean, so he had to play that role.
Yeah. And the Ultimates came out in like 2006, or that's when the movie was released.
He was such a perfect casting for that.
Yeah, he's great. 2002 to 2004. Yeah. There was another example. The Chitauri, which are the villains of Avengers 1, that's an Ultimates creation too. Oh. And it's fun. They made them the Chitauri because I don't remember why, but for some reason they couldn't use the Skrulls. So the Chitauri are based off of the Skrulls. And now we have the Chitauri and the Skrulls in the MCU universe.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Which is pretty fun.
Yeah, but the Skrulls kind of got a little iffy for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating.
Are you talking about in the show and in the comics?
Oh, and just in the MCU, yeah.
Yeah. That series wasn't great. But to be honest, it was doomed from the start because the reason the Secret Invasion comic book is so good is because you find out that, like, so many of these characters who've been around since the Silver Age have secretly been Skrulls for years. Yeah. And in the show, you know, they're not going to pay $1 million to have a bunch of different Avengers cameo. And so the only one that actually matters is Rhodey.
I really thought this was a big enough event that they would have done a movie.
It should have been a movie.
You know, Secret Invasion is such a big event, you know?
Yeah, it's such a big event. Yeah, it definitely should have been a movie. It should have been Avengers 5.
Yeah, that's true.
It should have gone Endgame, then straight to Secret Invasion. Because you're already in this area where, like, it's a new team of Avengers. The old, Thor's still around, but Iron Man and Captain America are gone. We're in this state of flux where nobody really knows what's happening. It would have been the perfect time to have a movie where you realize that some of these people aren't the people that you know.
When was the last time we saw Thor? It was Love and Thunder, wasn't it?
Love and Thunder.
Holy crap, what's he up to? What's this guy doing?
Well, he's raising his kid.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
Spoiler alert for a movie that's 3 years old.
Greatest Marvel movie, as I said right out of the theater.
Yeah, this is one that I've been doing an MCU rewatch for a couple weeks. I've been watching one every 3 days maybe. I've been really taking it slow. I've been doing it explicitly for this, to watch Thor: Love and Thunder again.
Really?
Yes, because I don't remember any of it, and I just recently reread Jason Aaron's Gore the God Butcher series, and obviously the comic is so good.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to watch it and be like, what are the things that they did get right? Because there's obviously lots that they got wrong, and there's lots of changes, and I don't like most of them. But undoubtedly, there are things in it that are interesting.
Christian Bale's performance as Gore the God Butcher was so good. But
so good.
Man, it would have fit better in a movie way darker.
Well, yeah, this is a movie where it's like, if you're going to do this story, it shouldn't be directed by Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean...
Taika Waititi and James Gunn, man. I'm getting fed up.
Yeah. Here's the thing, is that lots of the problems that we have with the MCU now, there's a couple of things. One, for every origin story, they basically just remake Iron Man, but they reskin it. But every single movie is now Guardians of the Galaxy. It's all that type of comedy. Because if you watch everything before that, it's not like that. Even like Avengers: Age of Ultron, which is pretty comedic, it's different. But now every movie since then has been, how do we do Guardians of the Galaxy? Because that movie did great. It was lightning in a bottle. You can't recreate it.
Yeah, I mean, that movie was a very good movie for James Gunn. Working for Marvel was a very good move for James Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean, look where it got him right now, But we're not going to talk about that because we're talking about Marvel.
Yes.
All right? Even though DC is kind of kicking their A right now.
How can you... They've released one thing. I think it's too early to say that. They released one thing, which was Creature Commandos, which I didn't even finish. I didn't even watch the last episode.
DC's probably going to end up running Marvel down the gutter.
I don't know. It really depends on how Superman does.
DC is going to do something. I'm just kidding. No,
I want them to. I have been hoping for a good DC cinematic universe.
I know.
Since 2010.
Who isn't, dude? I mean, Snyder, I love the guy, but Snyder, I love him. He just kind of he started screwing the pooch. Of course, events took place, and it's understandable why things started slowing down a little bit. But man, I really wish he would have continued working on it.
I wish we could have at least gotten Man of Steel 2.
At least Man of Steel 2.
Because here's the thing: is the movie's good. It's one of those it's such a drastic change where I think no matter how good even if it was the greatest superhero movie of all time, which it's not. I like Man of Steel, but it's obviously not. Even if it's the greatest one ever, it's such a change that there was always going to be a certain level of reaction to it, just a negative reaction. But yeah, I respect that DC got him because they were we can't just make the MCU, but with Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
We need to try something different.
And, I mean, yeah, with Man of Steel, he accomplished it pretty good, in my opinion. It was very dark and gritty, and minus the zoom-in shots. Sorry, I saw one of his zoom-in shots right there, and I was like, geez.
Yeah, I mean, the cinematography of Zack Snyder movies is either pretty good or, just not to my taste.
Yeah, and I will say, James Gunn so far for the casting list has been very, very good.
The cast has been, it appears great. Obviously, we haven't seen anything, but it all looks really good.
Yeah, he went as comic book as possible. Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fantastic Four.
So
yeah, Shayde, any final thoughts on Rise of the Silver Surfer after we spent 20 minutes talking about everything else?
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts. I grew up with this movie. When this movie came out, I don't think I went to theaters. Maybe I did. I don't know. I mean,
you would have been 5.
Yeah, it's
that's not true. I would have been 5.
It's 2008, so.
It was 2007.
2007, so.
You would have been 2.
Shoot, yes.
Aren't you more-
So I remember it pretty well. You know, my first theater experience there. No.
Oh man, could you imagine if your first movie ever was Rise of the Silver Surfer?
I liked this movie so much, and the reason why I like this movie so much is because I had the first one on DVD, and I would watch it all the time. But I never had the second one, and I only would watch the second one when I'd go to Grandma and Grandpa's because they had the second one. So it was a very special thing to watch this movie. One day, I went to a pawn shop, and they had this movie on DVD. I had money, and I could afford it, so I bought it. And, I mean, I would fall asleep to that movie, you know? So the problem is that there's definitely a nostalgia factor for me with that movie. Of course it ain't fantastic.
You know what I just realized? Sorry. You can continue. I just realized something. Go ahead.
Okay.
There's a continuity error in these videos, but go ahead.
Of course it ain't fantastic.
Say that again.
It's fantastic.
It's better. I like it more than the 2015 Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, well, bro. I mean, come on.
Like obviously this movie isn't great, but this one at least is I feel like there are more good moments in this than in that one.
They really screwed the pooch with that one.
Granted, I haven't seen that one in a long time, so there's probably recency bias there.
Yeah, I mean, costume designing, acting. Anyway, we'll get into that one. But
well, who knows when? That's not on the calendar anywhere. We'll talk about it in 6 years, so subscribe to the notifications and wait for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like this movie. It was a very great comic book adaptation for comic book fans. You know, if you don't want that too dark, you want just funny, raunchy, you could just sit down, eat some popcorn, hang out with your friends, have it on in the background, you know. It's very good for that, and I respect it for that, especially for 2007.
Yeah. Like I said in the intro, I mean, this is a pretty decent pre-MCU comic book film, and pretty good pre-Dark Knight comic book film, because Dark Knight was the movie that made people think, oh, you can take these comic books and make a film out of it. It's so tonally, cinematically different from anything else.
What a good movie.
Yeah, definitely a great movie. But it's fine. It's fun. If you just turn your brain off, you're going to have a really, really good time. It's very short, too. It's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's very short.
Yeah, it's like barely feature film length.
Stan Lee has one of my favorite cameos in this.
Yeah, which I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot. That cameo is a direct homage to the Fantastic Four wedding comic book. It's the same shot. Stan Lee is in the comic book trying to get into the wedding of Sue and Reed, and he gets turned away by the bouncer or whatever. I think Jack Kirby is there too.
Jack Kirby's there too?
Yeah, well, he designed the Fantastic Four. What am I looking at? FF Wedding Stan Lee comic. Let me see if I can find a quick still.
Freaking frick wedding, dude.
Really? I can't find it. I don't know. They don't say his name here, but yeah, that's a famous. I can't zoom in. Anyways, but yeah, that's a direct homage to the comic, which I think is really, really fun.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually really cool. But yeah, that's one of my favorite like Stan Lee cameos. You know?
Yeah. He's like, I'm Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Excelsior.
Okay, bud.
Let me in, true believer. But yeah, in any case, final thoughts. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's fine. Give it a watch. You know, whatever. You got an hour and a half. That's like what? I mean,
whatever.
Come on.
No, watch this. That's it.
A little too emphatic, I think. You know, give it a whatever, man. I mean, if you're going to watch one Fantastic Four movie, go for the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one's also not that great, but it's definitely better than this.
But if you watch the first one, watch it. Watch this one.
If you want to see Galactus done right.
Yeah, if you want to see Galactus the perfect way.
Yeah. But in any case, yeah, so that we're going to leave it there. Oh, I wanted to tell you this continuity error. Here's some inside baseball for all of you. We talked about not having seen Superman the movie. This video is going to come out after the review for that.
I didn't even think about that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the next week. So
that's going to be so funny, dude.
I know. It's going to be great to rewatch and see, you know, how either right or wrong we are about whether that movie's going to do good.
We have to start that video out with our reaction right away. Holy crap.
Oh, like us getting out of the movie theater?
Yeah, straight out of the theater. Bring the camera.
Yeah. All right, I'm fine with that. Oh, we're getting real inside baseball now, talking about production of these videos.
Shoot.
In any case, we're going to leave it there. So next Thursday, like I mentioned earlier, going to be talking about Grant Morrison's Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely a good comic book. It's actually my favorite Fantastic Four comic. It's one of the few that I've read and have actually enjoyed. I think I've read it 3 times now. And like I said, I'm not a huge Fantastic Four guy. And Grant Morrison's like hit or miss for me. But when he hits, you know?
Yeah.
Like this, All-Star Superman, he's got some great stuff. Don't like everything, but this is one of the ones that's good. Give it a read.
Sorry, that's a good comic.
That's another comic that I talked about on... I will have talked about on the video that releases just before this one, the Thursday before this one goes live. In any case, so that's that. And then next Tuesday, on the 29th, we're going to be back to give our full review of the new Fantastic Four movie. It's clear that we're both really excited for it. Obviously, we both have our own worries, but by and large, I think I'm more excited than I am worried. And I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, so set your calendars, subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of these fantastic episodes that we're going to be doing.
You wouldn't want to miss it. I'm proud of that one.
You wouldn't want to miss it.
You wouldn't want to miss it. This is big. This is a big movie.
Big like Ben Grimm.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Me? I feel fantastic. All right, now we're going to end things there. Again, I said this already. Hit the notifications bell, and just remember, it's clobbering time.